misses.
8 points for Gansey.
Back to the 1-3-1. Nicely done to get it on that baseline.
Ooh, good look. That's a tough catch for the big guy.
The pass from Dudley went right through the legs of Smith, out of bounds.
And they do it as well as any team I've seen all year. If they can't grab the rebound themselves, they kick it out to somebody else on their team who's usually coming forward for it.
J.D. Collins had made 10 threes in the entire regular season. He made 2 yesterday. Down the stretch for Coach Beeline. As we mentioned, they had an 8-point lead in the first half in one game against Boston College, a 9-point lead in the other, and lost both games. He was scoreless in 9 minutes yesterday against the Friars, 0 for 3 from the field. Good hands by Fisher to knock it out of bounds. 90th straight game today for West Virginia, every game of his career.
Back to the 1-3-1. They've given so many different looks defensively. It's hard to get it.
20+ in 4 the last 9, including yesterday when he had 24 against Providence. 5 threes in that game. Bags packed and ready to go. On to the new challenges.
Tough pass. Better in 4 years, though.
No, it's remarkable. 1 point a game to now averaging 24 in the NIT. And he has the green light, too, for this club.
Yeah, that's harassing pressure from one definite passing lane. Ooh, a little shove by
the ball game at number 35. Replacing him, Jamie Smallaghan will stay in number 43, the 7-footer for West Virginia.
Ruoff on the one wing. One of the bigger guys can rebound, but this is where I think you have to attack somehow.
That's a long group of guys out there. That 1-3-1.
Nice assist, and the shot was missed
By Pittsnogle. It's reminiscent, isn't it? He does have some range.
Has a lot fewer markings on his body.
That he does.
There's that trap in the corner. Yeah.
Just give it up. He had an option to kick it, but he had body control not to charge.
You know, Radford High School, where he went, a very small school, and Clemson was one of the final choices for that young guy.
Boy, Hamilton.
Just a little screen and opening up and taking advantage of Young. He's on the floor. Let him shoot it.
Those are the little things that point out when a team is really well coached. Scoring off inbounds plays.
And look at the size here.
What did he do? He waited his turn, knocked down the 3.
They don't foul in this 1-3-1 as well, which is a big entity.
Shot clock is about to hit 10. It does right now. Well, West Virginia contingent making a lot of noise. Skip pass. Hamilton.
We're going to end up with no shot. No shot.
They did not get it on. And a standing ovation.
The coach of West Virginia yesterday said, that's where we need points. We need Pittsnogle to get the ball down deep to get us some easier looks and consequently easier buckets.
Jenkins fires. And Clark Kellogg and a Singular Naismith watch update. It's coming up on Singular at the half. Dean resets with Williams outside. Ball movement. Jenkins the jumper. And rebound.
6 from the field.
And you think West Virginia's up 17 without him being a real factor. You know a guy who shoots it as well as he does isn't going to stay cold.
Starters are in there for both teams to begin the semi. An American Revolution with Clark Kellogg, Kevin Harlan, Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles. 2 top 20 teams from the Big East, West Virginia. Missed by Roll.
Massaging his minutes for his reserves, for his starters rather, and because there's such versatility. Look at Gansey.
Well, you called it, Clark, on him all afternoon long of Farmar of UCLA. UCLA, first place, Pac-10. The Mountaineers, first place coming into today in the Big East. 2 top 20 teams. Collison, great find, Hollins. Rebound.
In the eyes of his dad and the coach, he's really a 6 starter.
Oh, there.
Started his role really up at the Big East tournament in New York and continues to shoot it well. 3-point lead for the Mountaineers. And what do you make of North Carolina State so far against this 1-3-1?
Well, they haven't faced it much. They've had them in man a lot. They look uncomfortable.
comfortable, but they have spread the floor nicely. When they can get that reversal like that, it opens passing lanes up. That's a 4. Mountaineers leading by 3, and keep in mind, this is a West Virginia team that a lot of the pundits and prognosticators picked to finish 12th in their conference this year. 8.5. Under 7 minutes to go, a trip to New York City on the line, and a berth in the semifinals in the MasterCard NIT. How many passes they almost get a steal or a deflection or a touch. This is what the whole defense is predicated on. Get into pass. They tried for that pass, tried for this pass. Keep stalking the ball. Bosner missing this 3-point.
He finally learned how to play basketball, and now he's playing the front end of that 1-3-1.
And again, you look at him at the top when you try to make the cross-court pass. Very difficult for UConn to get it over anybody. And that was a bad. But you're right, Scott. The bottom line here is that the young team that Connecticut has on the floor, they've got to learn how to not only weather the storm provided by West Virginia, but also their fans who can be vocal, and once their team gets on a run, can be all over you. And I'm sure not a lot of these young guys have ever experienced anything like this.
Well, Connecticut hasn't played a road game yet this year. All 11 played in the state of Connecticut. Austria, and that's way off on the inside.
Well, no more boos for Frank Young. Tremendous outside shooter, one of those guys who gets in a rhythm, hard to stop.
That's the look they're trying to find, but Dyson can't hit. Under 5.5 to go in the first half of play. And the 1-3-1 back at it again for the Mountaineers. And there's a hand in the passing lane again that forced Huskies team down by double digits early in this game. First road game of the year. They're still trying to claw their way back, and they haven't blinked. Dyson, little floater. Missing it badly.